not send any hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you. In the quiet town of Wichita, Kansas, on May 7, 1998, a child was born who would one day captivate the world with his boundless generosity and unyielding drive. But the story of James Stephen Jimmy Donaldson, known to millions only as Mr. Beast, is not just one of internet fame and philanthropy. It is a story rooted in pain, resilience, and in the shadows of a tumultuous past. Jimmy was the second son of two Army officers born into a life of discipline and duty. His mother, Susan Marie King Donaldson, now perisher, broke barriers as the first female prison warden at the only military prison in Europe at the time. It also happened to be run at the time also by the United States Department of Defense. But behind the facade of military prestige and honor lay a household steeped in turmoil. And I ain't talking about drill sergeant dad barking orders because the sheets got a wrinkle in it. No, this was actually much darker than that. Jimmy has said that his childhood memories are non-existent up until the age of about 10 years old. But the fragments of his early years were recounted by his mother in her 2019 autobiography, and she paints a picture of a life far from ordinary. I was moody, uninterested, and overwhelmed. I was a mother, but I wasn't present. And that's something I'll never forgive myself for. As his parents served their country, young Jimmy and his siblings were often left in the care of others. And when his parents were present in the home, the atmosphere was anything but peaceful. In Susan's book, she unveils the harrowing reality of their family life. It was marked by fear, abuse, and control. Charles Richard Donaldson Sr., an Army officer by day, ruled his household with an iron fist by night. While Susan managed the military prison, she herself became a prisoner to her husband's tyranny. For 21 years, Susan says she endured a marriage that was anything but loving. The abuse, both emotional and physical, left scars that would take a lifetime to heal, not only on Susan, but the three young children as well. Through it all, young Jimmy watched, absorbing the pain and chaos all around him. Amidst that domestic strife, tragedy struck again when Jimmy's little sister was diagnosed with life-threatening leukemia. The weight of their father's abuse and the fear of losing a child created an unbearable tension in the Donaldson household. Sue would write in her book, quote, "I longed to keep my sons from doing to anyone else what was being done to me. I had to protect them, even if it meant leaving the man I once loved." So Sue and Charles, they would eventually divorce for good. But young Jimmy's problems were far from over. What followed after the divorce were years of bickering and fighting between the two parents and the rehashing of the past misdeeds. And often, they would make this even worse by triangulating Jimmy and his siblings between them in these fights. And this is all stuff Sue admitted to in her book, okay? I'm just telling y'all what she said, okay? Available on Amazon Kindle. So for me, it's really important to keep in mind that at this time, during this time period, I mean, these are kids, they're getting put in between their parents in the middle of divorce, they're fighting, and the kids are kids, and this is the first female prison warden in the whole entire history of forever at the one military. I mean, imagine a 12-year-old up against that.
So, by profession, did I tell you I'm a retired lieutenant colonel?
No, I did not know that.
21 years on active duty in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's impressive too. Okay, so you're like a military kingpin.
I guess so. Yeah. I ended up being the first female prison warden for the DoD prison over in Heidelberg, Germany in 2001.
The Eddy House is named after Manton Eddy, the first American general to move in here after the end of the Second World War. It was here that leading NATO generals came together to reach decisions that were to make history.
Dann waren die Entscheidungsräume mit den Sicherheitsräumen, die Hochsicherheitsbereiche, aus denen auch das Weltgeschehen.
So, yeah, first prison warden over there. Jimmy likes to think like that's so cool. My mom used to be a prison warden.
I think that's very cool. What was it like?
You know, by that time in my career, I was very good at the good cop, bad cop.
I think that's telling. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, also in this time, right after the divorce, like 7 years after the divorce, Sue apparently, quote, lost her ability to function. So she was like literally not functioning, and they still had the kids in the house. On top of that, apparently, according to Jimmy, Sue lost everything in the 2008 financial crisis, and they were always constantly moving around because of Sue's military assignments. Now, eventually they did pretty much settle in one place in North Carolina. All of these factors left Jimmy and his siblings in a constant state of insecurity, uncertainty, and confusion, never knowing where the next fiasco was going to come from or when it would appear, but just knowing that it would. Little Jimmy Donaldson, the boy who would later become Mr. Beast, he may not dwell on the memories of his early life, but they're forever etched in the shadows of his past. A past that shaped him. A past he would spend the rest of his life trying to overcome. From the ashes of a broken childhood, a phoenix would rise, and the world would come to know it simply as Mr. Beast. A man driven not by fame, but by a deep-seated need to bring light where there was once darkness and hope where there was once despair. It seems that during the darkest moments of young Jimmy's life, he saw a flicker of hope in his desperate situation, perhaps even a way out. It all began with a simple love for making videos. Jimmy's early YouTube content was a patchwork of ideas, mostly about gaming, but also just random topics that piqued his curiosity. The first venture I could find was a channel called We Talk Gaming, where Jimmy and two of his friends from high school would dive into gaming topics. And I mean, they were very young. Look at the little uniforms they're wearing.
You introduce the channel, then introduce each of us, then you'll be...
Oh, okay.
And then after that, I would be like, so Jimmy, what do you enjoy uploading? And then,
Are you gonna make it that corny? Like, so Jimmy.
So Jimmy. I could... so Jimmy. No, it's like...
He's gonna be our funny one.
So guys, expect a wide range of video games on this channel, and we're all pretty stupid and probably won't upload consistently, but just subscribe.
No, we're uploading consistently.
Yeah.
You have to have positive outlook on it.
Oh, okay.
We'll upload consistently for at least the first week.
But on February 20th, 2012, Jimmy established the channel that would eventually become the Mr. Beast we would recognize today.
But anyways, this video is about my thumbnails. So we're just going to take a look at, my last 10 thumbnails. We'll just critique them, give you guys my opinion on them, and let me know what you think down below. So we'll start off with this one.
Jimmy would experience viral success very early in his YouTube career, often stating in interviews that his first ever YouTube video received 20,000 views. And apparently that experience of going viral, that first video, I don't know if it was actually the first video, I have no way to confirm that, but that's what he says, and it may be true. But he says, and he credits that with kind of hooking him on the YouTube viral buzz feeling or whatever. So by 2015, Jimmy had fully caught the YouTube bug, and he would make various videos on his channel, often featuring his childhood friend, now known as Ava Chris Tyson, and for whatever reason, they seemed a bit preoccupied with Chris being Jimmy's slave, but I digress. Hello everybody! Thanks for watching the dark history of Mr. Beast Past. This was actually just the first 7 minutes of my hour and 47-minute long full documentary called Mr. Beast the Movie. In Mr. Beast the Movie, we go into Jimmy's past, his early days on YouTube, his rise to YouTube fame and eventual infamy, many, if not most, of the scandals and red flags that were missed along the way, and a lot of other stuff. We worked really hard on it, so go check that movie out if you liked this video. Love you, mean it, bye.
BJ investigate, she gonna find the truth. She gonna crack the case here. It's not a lie when it's paperwork. She will expose the truth. Daily updates for you. Better subscribe like I knew you would. We gotta stand for what's right. We gotta do for the good, yeah. I don't know what y'all have heard. That surprise witness got the word. We don't believe in Scientology. I do not need your mind control on me. We don't need your conservatorships, no. We doing right, what's right for the kids. Whoa.
Y'all cannot control me. I control my own mind. You could've controlled me then, still not in this lifetime. Can you send us down the pink angel from the heavens of truth? You don't want to debate with BJ, 'cause studying law is what she do.